It's worn.
Okay, this is worn. Okay. This one's destroyed. This is worn. Now, worn is a common term.
Yeah.
So destroyed encompasses snags and stains and wear. And that one has stains and snags.
And stains.
Yeah,
and, the snags.
and things that, we launder our clothes and try to get them.
Which direction do you try to go? Do you try to make them look better or worse?
We don't do anything to them.
We just wash them.
You just, okay, but so you do wash them.
We would try to get the stains out. If they're not going to come out, then that's just...
They show any resistance, you figure it knows best.
Right.
I mean, because people do that to furniture all the time. They take perfectly fine furniture and take chains and things to it, and they distress it.
Right.
And I was wondering, and I see women with jeans
right.
that are all raggedy and everything, and those are very expensive jeans,
right.
like $500. I was wondering, is that a trend that's happening within T-shirts or a certain kind of, like, Triumph or something like that?
So this would be on the...
So
would be called destroyed, but it would be on a different plateau.
Okay, now which is the more destroyed? Now this one. Okay, this is more destroyed. Let's get some look up at the. Now, what is this kind of wear here, where it looks like what I wear? What is this called here?
These would be called, the technical term would be holes.
Yes, but is there any the fact
like
that
how
it's
it got there?
shredding? I mean, it's kind of shredded holes there. But is there a term that you would use to describe that, since this is what you do?
No, it's pretty. It is pretty self-explanatory. Stains, holes, paint.
Okay, so how much does this Gone Hunting shirt sell for?
Gone Hunting, I have for $45. Typically, the more destroyed they are, or the thinner that they are, thin is always better.
Okay, so thin means that they've been around for like a long time, a lot of wear.
Right. So you pay more money for ones that are thinner because they're usually better because you've saved. All those years somebody saved you in wearing it themselves, so you get it nice and thin. And
so now, is this sort of a trend that you're starting to see that's popular, that people want just like the worst of the men's stuff that's now, I mean, that the wives and the girlfriends would have thrown away in the past and said, how could you wear this? Now this is becoming a valuable hip commodity. How long has this been going on?
Well, people have bought vintage for a long time.
Yeah, this is something beyond vintage. Often vintage, you'll buy something that is old, but they'll take great pride in the fact that it's like, 90 years old and just like perfect condition. You're on a different direction here. This is like you're sewing the kind of shirt that maybe your father had worn or his grandfather had worn. Yeah,
these aren't
gone hunting.
These aren't 1920s relics by any means. There's probably just from the late 80s, early 90s, whenever things, probably 1992 or 93, things stopped being 50% cotton and polyester, and they became all cotton, made outside of the United States. So before 1992, everything was cotton and poly, so it wore really well.
So this one has got this Gone Hunting emblazoned with that, and this has got Triumph. So is that part of the equation, that it has to have some graphic on there, some compelling graphic on it before it's even worth consideration of being an old thing? If it didn't have the graphic, would it still have value, or does the graphic give it its value in addition to the condition?
I think the graphic is definitely...
So what are some of the other graphics that are very appealing that you have or you're seeing that's out there? So we have something that represents a motorcycle, a Triumph, something that represents a very masculine concept of going fishing. What are some other things?
Well, the concert T-shirts, old band, and
what are some of the bands that would be appropriate for this kind of thing? What are some of the bands that are like that? Like Led Zeppelin, would that be one of them? Or is that too contemporary or not old enough?
Led Zeppelin, the kids love. The motorcycle culture is real popular now, so they like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, Metallica. You do well with those. Those graphics are real popular. Tubes are kind of cartoony and just have a lot of vibrant colors. Worn really well, and the graphics are pretty crude too. I think that's kind of the better too.
So how long have you been doing this?
We've done it full time for about almost 7 years.
Oh, so that's quite some time.
Yeah.
So you actually make a living from doing this?
Yeah, it's our full time deal.
Do you sell at other places, or this is your only outlet?
We do eBay and Etsy, and then we started this about a year ago at the Antique Mall.
I see. And so you've been doing this for 7 years. This precisely, or did you start off with a different permutation of this kind of thing?
Pretty much it's always been men's and women's. Mostly men's. We stick to pretty specific, just T-shirts, leather jackets.
So of the T-shirts that you've had, is there one that comes to mind that you once had really a great T-shirt with great artwork on it that sold for a fair amount of money? One of the all-time great ones in your mind?
Well, I'm kind of a hoarder. I keep a lot of the really rare ones.
And what would be an example of one that you have taken off the market because it's so rare, or at least desirable?
I try to be equal opportunity, but no, there's a lot of old Harley Davidson ones that I keep.
And what is there a particular one that comes to mind that you could describe?
I could. There's ones, the cartoony ones with a lot of the animals and the hogs and the pigs on them are real popular. Not so much in America, but Japan.
So Harley Davidson T-shirts, worn Harley Davidson T-shirts are very popular in Japan. And what would be like a top price for one of those kind of T-shirts?
I think I've sold some for $500 or $600. So that's probably the upper end of those.
Okay.
Depending on the specific designs.
So before this, what were you doing? Did you have like a regular profession?
No, I just...
This is it?
Well, no, I was just... she's the brains of the outfit. She went to school and graduated. I was just...
And what was your degree in? Marketing or English, or what was it in?
Elementary education.
Oh, gee, I can see why you got out of that. That's a tough job unless you have a degree in karate or something.
Yeah.
So why did you go from being an elementary... Were you a elementary school teacher? I never was a
school teacher, but...
So you just jumped into this
No, then I worked in advertising for 5 years.
Ah, that's a tough business. What did you do? Were you a graphic designer or a salesperson?
In the account side.
Ah.
Yeah, managing the accounts.
Wow.
And then I didn't really care for my job. He didn't care for his, so we decided to.
So
we've
then
always loved vintage.
So with your background, you probably handle more of the business kind of aspects of this enterprise.
I don't know. I have to give that to him.
I don't know.
Maybe I have the paperwork, but
well, paperwork is kind of business.
Yeah.
So how would you divide your activities or your strengths? What do you do more of than she does, and vice versa?
I'm probably the hunter. I find
so
a lot of this stuff.
You're the hunter and gatherer, and you're back in the cave stirring the soup.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, she keeps it together at home, and I do a lot of the travel and the networking and unearthing of the treasures. So.
Okay.